2 sleeps to go until Cup final day. Gonzo, how you feeling?
Yeah, nervous and excited. More nervous. The nerves are starting to, it was a bit, it's like the nervometer, excitement, nervousness. It's definitely going a bit like that now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm wearing colours. I never do that. I got dressed up for the video,
and you're cold. Clearly, it's cold. Cold up north, isn't it?
I'm actually sweating already, to be honest with you. The scarf is making me very warm, so it may come off during the video, but I will intend to keep it on for the purposes of I'm excited. Let's get in the mood for the final. So this is a predicted 11 video. We never do them because it's kind of pointless, really. But because a special occasion, I thought, well, let's discuss what we think David Moyes will do. In the preview, Gonzo says what he wants to see. I say what I want to see. In this video, we're trying to guess what David Moyes is going to do in Prague on Wednesday night. And there's a few big positions up for debate, I think, starting with the goalkeeper. I think we know what he'll do here. But would you agree that it'll probably be Areola?
I think he will. I think it'd be if you set your stall out to do that, if you set your stall out to say you are the cup goalkeeper, you're not going to play much in the league, and then that cup goalkeeper helps get you to the final. To withdraw him, I'm not sure what that does to not just Areola, but actually team morale as a whole. I think you may well spark off, regardless whether it's the right thing to do. I think within the squad, you may well spark off a conversation with the squad saying, "Can you believe Moyes? He's just done that to Alphonse." Alfie probably called him Alfie, didn't they? I can't believe they've done that to Alfie after all the promises. So I think he'll stick with him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'd be shocked if Fabianski's in goal on Wednesday night. I think I'm 99% sure we'll see Areola start. Whether he does the sub or not, do you think he will do the sub?
No.
I don't think so either. So basically, for people that don't know, what we're referring to is if it gets to the penalty shootout, would Moyes sub Fabianski and take the penalties? And the reason for that is we played Blackburn in the Carabao Cup and Areola did nothing in a penalty shootout, and we obviously got knocked out. So Areola's track record at saving penalties in shootouts perhaps isn't the best, but we did it against Man City with him in goal, though, in fairness. So
yeah, no, absolutely. But just to reiterate, this is what we think Moyes would do, not what myself and Geo would do. Myself and Geo would both bring Fabianski on for a penalty shootout.
I don't think he'll change him either.
No,
I don't think he'll change him either. Do you know something I want to see? Do you know what's I struggle to accept in the modern football, and I mean really modern footballs in the last 12 months, goalkeepers having water bottles with like a detailed stuff, right? Now I get why they do it. Like it started off with a bit of paper, they'd scrunch it up and try and hide it. Now they're getting the actual bottle with like full on laminated paper with like statistical, he goes here 67% of the time. It's like really broken down, right? And the worst thing is, when Man United, I can't remember who they played, but De Gea was doing it. He was opening up his towel and just reading it and looking at who was going up to take it and looking down and whatever. Then the other keeper would do it. Honestly, I'd be instructing Areola, if you see the Fiorentina keeper do that, pick up his water bottle and launch it, right? You're going to get a yellow card. Well, that's all right, mate. I'll have that. Hope you've memorised it, mate.
Oh, I like that.
Now in the fans. Honestly, lob it. I would say to Areola, you need to memorise everything here. You can have the water bottle, but make sure you've memorised everything, because what you're going to do is pick up the Fiorentina's keeper's bottle and throw it in the West Ham end. And good luck to him.
I like it. Do you know, there's clearly no rules. It's like the Wild West. The laws haven't been made yet. I'll tell you what I'd do. At my dentist, when you go into the dentist, they've got this little thing with these cone cups, and there's this massive water bottle, like a decanter, and the thing's massive. The thing is massive. What I would do, if I was a goalkeeper, I'd carry one of them on, right? I'd get like a little curved screen on it. Do you know what I mean? It's gone anyway. I'd have a little tactical breakdown. I might carry Nolan with his pad. Mine would be on my 10-gallon. I'd be carrying a bucket on there, plonking that down. He ain't throwing that anywhere, and I've got all the tactical data on it. That's the way to go, mate.
I think what you need to do then is in the 120 minutes have a normal water one. So when you pick it up at the penalty, you say, mate, I've had it the whole game. You've never had an issue. You can't pull me up for this now.
You can't tell me how thirsty I am, ref. Parched.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
Arid. It's arid in this goal.
Get that Fiorentina keeper's water bottle hauled into the West Ham fans. And if we're in front of the Prague fans, I want to see him throw it onto the roof of the stadium. It's quite a small stadium, 20,000. Well, let's take advantage of it.
Well, you definitely need Areola then, because Fabianski wouldn't be able to throw it very far, and it'd take ages to do it. It'd take half an hour to break Fabianski, wouldn't it? At least Areola would do it quick. What he wants to do is go full rogue, just rip the instructions off of it, scrunch them up, eat them, urinate in the bottle, do the full lot.
Take a yellow card. It's all good.
Take it.
Right back. Well, I think this is his toughest decision to me. I think, as discussed in the preview, I think the left back is the biggest decision to make because of what Fiorentina possessed down that right-hand side. But I think at right back, I think this is the hardest call David Moyes has got, because I think it feels quite 50-50.
It does feel 50-50.
Like they both deserve to play.
Yeah, and I can make a case in my mind for Moyes doing both, either or, you know. What do I think he'll go with, though, which is what we're discussing. I think he'll go with Soufal.
I think so as well. Do you think he would go with Soufal if it wasn't in Prague?
No. No. Because we've done the contract, didn't we? We've given him the extra year. Soufal.
Unofficially, he's had the contract extension.
Yeah, I mean, if that hadn't been done, I would say no, it wasn't in Prague. I know, but I think it's that tight, because I do think he did. Well, did well, not okay. Did well in the semi-final. Tough one.
I think he'll go Soufal as well. I think I would be a little surprised if he went Kehrer, actually. Like I said, I do think it's a tough call, because Kehler's done nothing wrong while Soufal's been out. But Soufal had done nothing wrong prior. He's come back in, Soufal, for the last couple of Premier League games, and he's done okay against Leeds and Leicester. Strong games, but not man of match worthy or anything. But then you also apply the disclaimer, which is, well, they're not going to take it that serious because there's a conversation fight. So it's a difficult one, and I sympathise a little bit with Moyes. This is what you want as a manager. You want tough decisions to make. But I think a lot of the team picks itself. But the right back one, and I think maybe other players in the team might understand if they were left out for someone else, like Ogbonna, you're not playing this one. Yeah, okay, Gaffer, I get it. I'm not sure Kehrer or Soufal will understand why they're saying, hang on a minute, no, I'm not having this. I should be starting. And I make them both right, but unfortunately they can't both play, because next to Soufal will be Kurt Zouma, and it feels nearly 100% that Aguero to be next to him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he chased these two players for a long time. They're absolutely 100% his first choice partnership. And they complement each other well. They really do. You got the stopper and the ball playing speedster. You know, I think they do complement each other well. So I don't even think it's close on that one. I just don't.
What about left back, though?
He'll go with Cresswell.
I feel quite confident in that as well, actually.
Yeah. He seemed to have made his mind up. That point, a couple of months ago, where he thought, right, we're in the Premier League. This is right. We're in a mess. I'm going to revert back to the old guard. I'm going to go back to my as close to my old team as we can. And I can't remember that there was a build-up show, and someone in the build-up show said this team, nine of the starting 11 are the same as whatever over 2 years ago.
It was 3 years ago.
It was 3 years ago, was it? Yeah. And we really felt that was a ploy, a very definite tactic by Moyes to revert back. And I think since then, he's sort of held faith with a lot of the older guard, really. So I think that's who he trusts, and he will pick who he trusts, Moyes.
I think a large part of the reasoning for Cresswell coming back into the side and also to play in the final will be set pieces. Like, I think Moyes will feel that we've been good at set pieces in the last couple of months or so, and Cresswell's come back into the team at the same time. That's not a coincidence. Moyes will feel that if we are going to win, it's possibly going to come from a corner or something, and he's going to want Aaron Cresswell on the pitch taking it. Just like part of the justification for keeping Souček is just for defending attacking set pieces. Well, part of the justification for Moyes selecting Aaron Cresswell will be that if we do get 5 corners a game, I want my best corner kick taker on the pitch, whipping them in. If we get a direct free kick, I want Aaron Cresswell on the pitch. It might not be him that takes it, but you want him there as an option to strike the free kick at the goal, because him and Ben Mama will be the two players buzzing around it. Rice will be there, Paqueta will probably fancy it, but it will be Benrahma or Creswell that takes it, make no mistake about it. So I'm quite confident Creswell will start. Midfield 3 picks itself, doesn't it? Rice, Souček, Paqueta, there's no debate. Bowen and Antonio, there's no debate there either. There was some rumours that Antonio was going to get his bum smacked and get dropped for this one, but I just can't see it at all.
He doesn't have an option.
If this was like 2 games to go independent, if this was a Leeds game, yeah, I get it. You know, there's nothing to play for.
No.
You can. It's a safe game to drop him and make a point, but you cannot. Like, you don't want no discipline at your club. But I'll tell you what, you can't allow Antonio to do a podcast all season, and then when he does one before the final, go, actually, I'm going to punish you for that podcast. Well, hang on a minute, mate. You've allowed it all year, and just because he says something you don't like this time round, you're going to drop him for the final. I just don't believe it whatsoever. I'm 100% sure Antonio will be starting up front.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a difference between being right and correct, isn't there? Antonio was correct in his observations. It just wasn't right to say it at the time. But for the very reasons that he made those correct observations, the very reasons why Moyes has to select him, which is absolutely the striker has to feed off scraps. Absolutely, Scamacca is not suited to David Moyes' style of play. And you know what? Antonio will also know that Danny Ings isn't suited to David Moyes' style of play, but he's not going to say that because Danny Ings is at Rush Green, not in Italy. So, you know, when he said that stuff. So, there's no other option. Even if Moyes is cross with him, he has to pick Antonio. Does feel like his last game, though. There's no doubt about that. Feels like Antonio's last game for West Ham, and he'll want to sign off on a high. He has to put his personal issues of Moyes to one side and go and get himself a medal. Sorry, and Moyes has to put his disciplinary issues in many respects to one side. And then go and get himself a winner's medal and get something on his CV. And they're both just going to have to swallow their pride and do what's best for the team, which in turn is also going to be what's best for themselves because neither of them are won anything. So, so he has to select him. No choice.
And on the left, the final position, a month ago it was nailed on Benrahma was starting in this final. There's no alternative. Cornet wasn't doing anything. Lanzini wasn't doing anything. Fornals wasn't doing anything. But in the last month, a goal at Alkmaar, goal in the Premier League, Pablo Fornals is now suddenly an option. Scorpion kick against Bournemouth. You know, he's getting goals, but not only that, he's playing really well. I thought against Leeds, I thought he was possibly our man of match. The only thing that stopped him was the fact that Paqueta turned up and showed that he's a £50 million player that game. But apart from that, Fornals was the best player on the pitch. And that position he had on the left, cutting in often, he was playing a number 10 almost in a lot of the time. And I thought that was an interesting way of playing. I thought it got the best out of Fornals. We saw him crap against Leicester. And then when we did the subs, moved over to the left and scored a solo goal. And I thought, right, okay, here's a guy that's thumping his chest and making a statement to the manager. In the preview, you wanted Fornals to start. I wanted Benrahma to start. But what do we think David Moyes is going to do? Do you think he's going to stick with Benrahma or he's going to twist at the last minute and put Fornals in?
Well, this is the only decision that David Moyes has spoken openly about. He said in interview that Pablo Fornals has played so well, he may well have played himself into the team. He's given himself a decision to make. Well, Fornals has given Moyes a decision to make, should I say. And I don't think he's playing mind games on that. I think he meant it. And so he should. I have a feeling it seems that Benrahma's earned his trust. I felt that recently. I haven't felt in recent months that Benrahma's the outcast anymore. But he's one of them. And I've got in my mind the players at the theme park, on the water ride, on the log flume, travelling out down the slide with their arms in the air singing all Saeed Benrahma as well. And he does really feel part of the group now. I think in the group feel that. I think David Moyes feels that. And I think whilst I don't think he's rapidly quick, he does give us a little bit, he gives us more pace than Benrahma down there. A little bit more attacking thrust, maybe, in terms of carrying the ball. And Moyes does like a ball carrier. He does. That is, he liked it. He always liked it at Everton. You know, as that was Kevin. Was it Kevin Morales? Was that the guy's name?
Yeah.
Seemed to always be under instruction to carry the ball forward. He likes to progress up the field in that way. I think he'd choose Benrahma.
I think he'll go with Benrahma because I think Benrahma's played okay as well. While Fornals has been the better of the two recently, Benrahma hasn't been churning out that bad performances. He's not been great, 6 out of 10s, but I don't think it's that poor to get dropped for the final for it. And it's a big call. Fornals, has he done enough to get in? Maybe not. I actually think 3 games or whatever, you know, coming off the bench against Alkmaar for a handful of minutes, and it was a fantastic goal on occasion. But with the greatest of respect, Benrahma and co had done the job for at least 150 minutes. Some of them played 180 minutes against Alkmaar across both legs. We even without Fornals' goal, we were still progressing to the final. It was just the cherry on the cake, and we were able to celebrate and relax, kind of thing. But Benrahma had done nothing wrong in the 2 semi-finals. He was probably our better player in the home leg in that game. He was the one that looked okay. So I think he'll stick with Benrahma as well. Because he also knows when Fornals has been coming off the bench recently, he's been putting in good performances. So now he's got like a mini super sub there. And I think if you flip it around, you don't know you'll get that from Fornals from the start, but you also don't know what you're going to get from Benrahma coming off the bench because that will be one demotivated player. If you bench him, you will hurt him. It won't even be a bit like Kerr would be a bit unlucky. That's all there is to it. Benrahma might feel a little bit, you know, hang on a minute, I've been stitched up massively here by the manager. I deserve to start. So there you go. That's how we think West Ham. We actually agree, Gonzo. We agree completely with the starting 11. Just to recap, Ariel on goal, Soufal right back, Zouma and Agurd centre backs, Creswell left back, Declan Rice in the defensive midfield role with Souček and Paqueta, Bowen on the right, Benrahma on the left, and Mikel Antonio up front. That's what we think will be David Moyes' starting 11 on Wednesday. How confident are you? Give out of 100.
That he'll pick that team?
Yeah. Because I'm quite high. I'm a 90%.
Oh, for sure. I'd just about to say 95%. Yeah. The thing is, if I know it, you know it, then a Fiorentina manager knows it as well. But it's quite a predictable line. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying that does give him opportunity to plan. I just wonder if Moyes is as certain in Italiano's starting 11 and tactics as the reverse is true on that. Slightly different because he's rotated a little bit in the last few games at Fiorentina, so maybe there's not that certainty. Can be interesting though, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his team.
Anyway, that's our predicted 11 show. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this video, please do drop a like on it by clicking the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to Hammers Chat. Myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.